We know we hear it all the time. New year, new you, right? Especially in January. But what really goes into new you, it depends. We have all the expert tips for you here this morning. Mental health coach for entrepreneurs, Tamela Todd, is here to tell us much more about that. Good to have you here with us.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, here we are. We are halfway through January, and
Yes.
folks are still going strong, but it's not always easy.
No, it's not. And a lot of people fall off. This is the third week of January, so a lot of people fall off. So what I like to do is suggest that a lot of people, start with different tips to try to help you expound on your goals.
Okay, so before we talk about those tips, give me an idea. When do people typically start to fall off? Because, the first couple of weeks of January, it's like you can't even get in the door in the gym, right?
Right.
Because everybody is in there and all gung-ho. But then when things kind of start to peter out a little bit.
Yeah, I would say the third week.
Okay.
This is the week that people
This
usually
is
fall
it.
off.
Okay, so quitters are going to be
Yeah,
everywhere.
we're everywhere. So I just say start with your mindset. You have to realize that if this is something that you really want to do and be focused on that. So this starts with your mindset.
So what should you do when you say focus on your mindset? What does that mean? Give me some practical tips.
Practical tip 1 is write down your goals.
Okay.
Write down realistic goals. That's one major thing. Sometimes we have goals and wishes. So you want to write down realistic goals that you know that you can have clarity on and that you can create an action plan on.
So basically, don't go too pie in the sky, right?
Yes.
You're saying things that are realistic that maybe you can achieve in 6 months, 9 months to a year?
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
so don't go too far
Don't
out
go
either.
too far in. Don't overwhelm yourself. You don't want to get overstimulated.
Okay, so you kind of want to have like attainable, right? Maybe
Yes.
smaller goals, maybe mini goals?
Yes, mini goals. So I like step 2. I say go into short-term goals, long-term goals.
Okay, so step 2 would be kind of create longer term goals.
Right.
So would that be maybe looking out a year in advance or even longer?
2 to 3 years, 3 to 5 years. A short-term goal, for example, could be you want to lose 20 pounds. You can lose 20 pounds in to 30 to 60 days. But if it's a long-term goal because you want to purchase a home, that's a long-term goal. So you need to save money in order to put down that down payment. So separate your goals between short-term and long-term goals.
Okay, and then that takes us to step 3. What's step 3?
Step 3 is work in blocks. That way you have 4 quarters in 1 year. In the first quarter, January through March, maybe you want to pay off that credit card that you use during the holidays.
Okay.
So
So kind of break
quarter,
them up into smaller.
Right.
And then what about kind of grouping your goals? Should people do that? Should you have different kind of, let's say, like segment it out and say, okay, these are my family goals, these are my financial goals. And can you have too many? Because sometimes you can get overwhelmed.
Right. That's why I say break them up into quarters, because at the end of the year, you don't want to say, oh, I didn't accomplish anything. So if you break them up into quarters and you're checking them off per quarter, then at the end of the year, you feel more successful.
Okay, and really quickly before we let you go, how do you stay motivated? Because when you talk about this third week in January and everybody's like ready to throw in the towel, how do you just kind of find that energy and get re-energized?
For me, I write down my goals, but I also say my goals every day.
You say them every day?
I say them every single day.
Okay.
That's keeping me have clarity of what I'm supposed to be working on so I don't venture off.
So another helpful tip. All
Yes.
right, love it. Thank you so much. Good
Thank
to have
you.
you here today. We
Thank you
appreciate
for having
it.
me.
And we've put up that info there for mental health coaching there with Tamela on our screen as well.